Sup nerds? Took me a few days, but I did finally get the new weapon paint plans that got added recently to the spooky Scorch seasonal event. So let's go ahead and update that video because we are pretty dry on content at the moment. So let's go, let's take a look at every free-to-play weapon paints that we can get in Fallout 76 right now. Starting out with what is most likely what you will be able to get first once out of the Vault 76, on your way to Wayward you can come across the Lumberyard. Though you most likely won't have enough caps to buy any of this lady does sell a bunch of different things, amongst which are plans. In specific, plans for rusted weapons, gunmetal weapons, and Vault Tec weapons. Each of these applies to several different weapons and all are droppable, so you can paint them for your mates or sell the weapons with these paints on. The weapons you can apply these on are the 10mm pistol, baseball bat, western revolver, pump action shotgun, and the combat rifle and/or fixers. They all have the Vault Tec logo, which I guess means enough vault dwellers have perished nearby for the respawners to have scavenged these. The rusted stuff don't look particularly great to me, but I guess they are the most lore accurate. Gunmetal stuff looks pretty standard too, to be honest, but I guess it's pretty good for anyone looking for low profile aesthetics. Now, the Vault Tec stuff I think look fantastic. Look at this pistol. Great contrast, solid colors. The baseball bat, for whatever reason, has metallic colors instead, even though all of the other weapons are made of metal as well. I wish these wooden parts would have been colored blue and yellow as well. Now moving on to quests. Doing the Operation Tidy daily quest has a 50% chance of rewarding you with the plan for the Pioneer Scout Bowie knife paint, which is of course a paint for the Bowie knife. And this is the only Pioneer Scout weapon paint for now. Now on to public events. The Encryptid, which is triggered by a player, can drop 4 nuclear winter stuff, out of which 2 are weapon paints. The more nuclear winter stuff you get in this public event, the higher the drop rate it will be for the ones you are missing. One of the weapon paints is the 10mm Hot Rod Shark Paint. I'm not a huge fan of pistols, but this one looks really sick. Probably one of my favorites. But because it is a nuclear winter item, you can't drop or sell this weapon once you apply this paint. The second weapon paint from the Encryptid is the Vault Tec Minigun paint. This goes well with the other Vault Tec paints from before. The color seems slightly faded for whatever reason, and that makes it look tackier than the other ones, but if you want to keep on the Vault Tec theme, it is a good one to have. Also, you won't be able to drop it for your mates because, like I said, this is a nuclear winter item. There are 2 additional nuclear winter paints on the Project Paradise public event, but to have a chance to get these, all 3 friendly monsters must survive in order for you to have a 9% chance to be rewarded a nuclear winter item. One of the weapon paints from here is the Missile Launcher Shi paint. To be completely honest, I think this is one of the worst paints. Can barely see the dragon, it is tiny, and is mostly just a red skin. It is not droppable nor sellable since it is a nuclear winter item. The second weapon from here is the Hot Rod Shark Minigun paint. And this one will be a little tough to get because most people don't like doing Project Paradise anymore, and most people who did want these skins already got them long time ago, so it might be a little tough to find enough people to get all 3 monsters to survive until the end. But if you are lucky enough to get one of these, then hey, it looks pretty great. From the public event A Colossal Problem, which is also triggered by players, you can also get some nuclear winter stuff, out of which one is a weapon paint, the Hot Rod Flame Laser Gun Paint. Interestingly enough, this only applies to the normal laser guns, and you won't be given an option to apply any paint to the ultrasight laser guns, and of course, can't drop nor sell. Now moving on to seasonal events, on the Treasure Hunt seasonal event, there are 2 nuclear winter weapon paints you can get through Mole Miner Pails. One of them is the Blue Camo laser gun. These 2 can only be applied to the normal laser gun and not the ultrasight one. I like the look of this one quite a bit, but also unsellable and undroppable. The other Mole Miner Pail weapon paint is the Adam Cat's Missile Launcher Paint, and I like this a whole lot better than the Shi paint. And also not droppable nor sellable. There is a third weapon skin you can get from Mole Miner Pails, but it is not a nuclear winter item, and it is the Strongman Super Sledge paint. Honestly, it looks pretty comical, but I guess that is the appeal. And because this is not a nuclear winter thing, you can drop it and or sell it if you wish. There's also one last skin that you can get from the Mole Miner Pails in the Treasure Hunter event. It is the Radstag hunting knife, and it is a skin for the combat knife, but it gives the blade of a Bowie knife to the combat knife, and the handle is of course probably made from Radstag antler from the name. The Radstag hunting knife used to appear in a separate tab for customization, and then the entire tab was taken out, and with it no way to access the skin for a while. But I'm happy to say that this was fixed, and now this Radstag hunting knife appears along with all of the other paints. In Holiday Scorch seasonal event, we can get the plan for the hunting rifle wrapping paper paint. And this is the worst attempt at wrapping something in wrapping paper that I've ever seen, but still kind of funny and somewhat befitting of a apocalyptic wasteland during Christmas, right? I don't know. But this also used to be a Nuclear Winter Christmas 2019 reward, so though that's kind of cool, it also means we can't drop it once applied to a hunting rifle. Another nuclear winter weapon paint is from the Holiday Scorch seasonal event, and it is the Blue Camo 44 paint. It took me about 2 years to get this one, just because of the bad RNG, but now that handguns are buffed up, maybe I'll finally put this paint on to actually use at some point. Now from the seasonal event Spooky Scorched, we can get this assault rifle Wraith's Wrath paint, and this is one of the cooler ones. For whatever reason it does have the Vault Tec logo on it, but it is red and black. I do like this one quite a bit. And you can drop and sell this. Remember, sharing is caring. The second weapon paint you can get from the Spooky Scorched is the Ghostly Grinder's Chainsaw paint. And with a name like that, I sort of expected something ghostly about it, but it's just a cyan paint. No drawing, no symbol. It would have been cool if it became see-through, but it's just a solid cyan paint. But this too you can drop and sell. Still from the Spooky Scorch seasonal event, we can get the Bats Minigun paint. It is just a purple minigun with some bat drawings on it. It is simple looking, but this used to be a nuclear winter reward, so pretty cool in that regard. But because of that, it is untradeable and undroppable. Now from the seasonal event Spooky Scorched, we can also get this assault rifle bat paint. And this is originally a Halloween 2019 nuclear winter reward, and I'm not a huge fan of this one color paints with basic stamps on it. Like this bats here, just kinda looks like a silly wallpaper that you just wrapped your gun in. I think it's pretty lazy. Also, you can't drop this because it is a nuclear winter item. Still in the seasonal event Spooky Scorched, we can get this 10mm Halloween paint. This too is a Halloween 2019 nuclear winter reward, and this is a perfect example of a good skin because look how many details there are here. Not only is the jack-o'-lantern art on it super cool, but when you hold it, you can see the skull on the back with the green optics for the eyes. It is so cool. This is probably one of my favorite 10mm paints, along with the Hot Rod Shark paint. This too can't be dropped because it is a nuclear winter reward. Another Spooky Scorch reward that we can get is this combat rifle jack-o'-lantern paint. And this is even better. This has to be my all-time favorite weapon paint here in Fallout 76. Much like the 10mm pistol Halloween paint, it has a jack-o'-lantern on it. I'm not too sure what this purple thing is here, but I like to think it is magical, like a witch's potion for more damage. You just have to lick it before every shot. And when you hold it, look at it. This is so cool. This should be the standard for all weapon paints. What happened? Also, since this is for combat rifles, it can also go on the fixer. Yeah. And because it is a nuclear winter reward thing, you can't drop this either. On to the next seasonal event, you can get the Chainsaw Skeptikill paint from the Mothman Equinox. And unlike the last Chainsaw paint, this one definitely looks more elaborate. It has some comic book font name, some Mothmans. All in all, pretty cool. And guess what? You can drop and sell this. From the Meatweek's Grom's Meat Cook seasonal event, you can get the Nuka Shank, which is a paint for the combat knife. Looks tiny and fragile, but also it's an interesting idea for a shank. Pretty good if you're into Nuka themed items. In the seasonal event, the Big Bloom, we have a small chance of around 3% to get the plans for the Garden Trowel knife, which is a skin for the combat knife. And honestly, despite it being kinda goofy as a knife, I actually kinda like it. It's definitely thematic and maybe good for a very specific roleplay. Haha. One last seasonal event skin is the Alien Blaster Zenith paint, which we can get from the Invaders from Beyond seasonal event. And this is pretty cool. Looks like something from a different game altogether, but this weird generator thing in the back looks super cool. I wish more weapon paints or even power armor paints had animated effects to them. And this is droppable and sellable too. Now from the public event Dangerous Pastimes, you can get the unique light machine gun called Red Terror. But getting that weapon automatically allows you to be able to put the red and green versions of the gun's looks onto any light machine guns in the game. So it's a 2-for-1 paint. The last event-related weapon skin is the Cappy Smasher Super Sledge paint. This can be drawn from any of the 4 Nuka World on Tour public events, but there's only a 3.571% chance of it dropping, so it may take a while to get it. But of course, it is droppable and sellable, so if you're having trouble with this, let me know in the comments down below. Also, interestingly enough, I noticed that I can put Gunther's paint on a single action revolver. And I assume we got this from the Most Wanted public event, which is where we get the Gunther's Big Iron unique weapon, or maybe we had to scrap the unique weapon to get this paint. I'm not sure, it just happened to be here when I checked. So you can make any single action revolver look like that. But honestly, I think Gunther's Big Iron will be better than anything you can roll on a normal single action revolver. Either way, it's droppable and sellable too. Now, on to Minerva. Sometimes you can catch her selling the Brotherhood of Steel minigun paint. This is a little lackluster to be honest, but you know me, I will collect anything that is Brotherhood related at Victorium. Now, for this one you will have to have done the Vault Heist mission already, and having done so will unlock rags in Vault 79. We will sell you several different plans for gold bullions. Added recently to this list of plans is the Shattered Grounds paint gun. This can be applied to any handmade, but the look is exactly the same as the unique handmade called Shattered Grounds, but that weapon had specific unrerollable perks, so now we get to have that same look in any handmade with any perks we desire, so, you know, pretty cool. Then in Daily Ops, you can get the Blood Eagle Auto Grenade Launcher paint. Sadly, this just looks like someone dumped red paint on it instead of actually looking bloody. But I do think it's funny that a raider took his time to write his team name on the barrel, like some kind of pep rally thing. This is also droppable and sellable. Still in Daily Ops, you can get the Intergalactic Handmade paint. And with a name like that, I was hoping to see a spaceship looking weapon. The wood on this looks old and rotted, the metal on this looks like it was fire treated, even the silencer gets the texture. The light reflects off the metal parts quite a bit. All in all, it's okay I guess. You can drop and sell this too. Another Daily Ops weapon paint is the Hot Rod Flames Handmade paint, and this is a lot cooler. It's probably my favorite skin for the handmade. Also droppable and sellable. Giuseppe at the White Springs sells some weapon paints for 50 stamps each. You can get them from their respective expeditions as well, but it is a huge pool of rewards, so the RNG might not really be on your favor, especially taking into account the fact that you can only get one plan per week from expeditions, so simply buying them from Giuseppe is recommended. One of the weapon skins is of course the Fanatics pump action shotgun, and I like this one quite a bit. Depending on the stock that you put on it, it can have a different look. It is droppable and sellable as well. Next from Giuseppe is the Union Hunting Rifle. I like the overall color, just don't know why they made the mag a different color. It feels a little off with the flag, but still pretty cool paint I guess. You can drop and sell this as well. There's also the 44 Roullette paint, and for whatever reason, this is the only Giuseppe weapon that you cannot drop. Then there's the Overgrown Assault Rifle paint, and it surely is something. There's a lot going on here and I'm not sure I like it. But you can drop it and sell it. Then there's also the Overgrown Deathclaw Gauntlet paint. This is my favorite weapon skin that is overgrown, maybe because it's not as crazy as the others, but it is also droppable and sellable. There's also the Overgrown Missile Launcher paint. Not a huge fan of this one either. There's too many orange bulbs close to the iron sight, which keeps taking away my attention from the sight. But it is also droppable and hence sellable. Lastly, there's the Showstopper shotgun paint, which I was lucky enough to get from the Most Sensational Game expedition, but you can also get this for 50 stamps at Giuseppe. This one you can apply on the double barrel shotguns, and because of that it can be applied to the cold shoulder as well. Not a huge fan of this color scheme, but it is droppable and sellable. And that's it, nerds! Every free-to-play weapon paint that we can get in Fallout 76 so far. So tell me, do you have all of these? Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, consider helping the channel out by clicking join down below to become a member, subscribe to see more videos like this, and as per usual, always nerd on!